evening and welcome to this edition of Newsletter on 6. Today is Tuesday, January the 8th, 2019. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, county unemployment numbers continue to decrease according to the Department of Labor and Workforce Development. We'll tell you about the history of New Year's resolutions. Retail gas prices reached their lowest level in 3 years. Tom Corrington will speak with the director of Tullahoma City Schools, and we'll bring you part 2 of Tom's interview with Tullahoma's new city administrator. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive Family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Online credit applications. Hometown auto rental. Customer testimonials. Trade appraisals, certified collision center, service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again. Just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. According to newly released data from the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development, each of Tennessee's 95 counties experienced lower unemployment in November 2018. 91 counties had an unemployment rate of 5% or lower during the month, and only 4 counties had a rate higher than 5%. Williamson County had the state's lowest unemployment rate at 2.5%, which was 0.2 of a percentage point lower than the previous month. Both Davidson and Rutherford counties had a rate of 2.6% in November, a drop of 0.3 of a percentage point for each county. The 10 counties with the lowest unemployment rate had a rate of 2.9% or lower in November.
The counties with the state's highest unemployment still experienced significant drops in their rates. While Lauderdale County had the highest jobless rate in November at 5.8%, that figure is a percentage point lower than the previous month. Bledsoe County's unemployment rate dropped nearly a full percentage point from 6.1% to 5.2%. McNairy County went from 5.5% in October to 5% in November. In the immediate area, Coffee County's rate was 3.3%. Bedford County reported a rate of 3.5%. Franklin County's rate came in at 3.2%, and Moore County's rate was the lowest in the area at 2.7%. Tennessee's seasonally adjusted statewide unemployment rate for November decreased from 3.7% to 3.6%. Nationally, unemployment held steady for the third consecutive month at 3.7%.
As we complete the 8th day of this new year, many of you are still working on those New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions have been around for thousands of years. However, looking back, resolutions have changed rather dramatically. Let's watch this video about how New Year's resolutions have evolved over the years.
The New Year's holiday was first celebrated approximately 4,000 years ago in Babylon. However, the Babylonians did not have an official written calendar, so they observed the holiday in March during the early beginnings of spring. During this time, the Babylonians would make promises to their gods, usually entailing paying their debts. Shedding a few pounds didn't seem to be on top of their minds. Then, in Roman times, as different emperors took the throne, the calendar began to change. In 153 BC, the Roman Senate ruled that the new year would officially begin on January 1st. The Romans would make vows to their god Janus, after whom the month of January was named. They would commonly ask for forgiveness and exchange gifts. In 46 BC, Julius Caesar altered the months yet again, and he made the year last for 445 days. It was during the reign of Caesar that resolutions became more recognized, with people making promises such as showing kindness to others. Still, no sign of Weight Watchers. In medieval times, knights reaffirmed their commitment to chivalry as a yearly tradition. To this day, the tradition of New Year's resolutions and getting rid of past bad luck continues. Various countries have differing approaches. At the stroke of midnight in Wales, a back door is opened and then shut to release the luck of the past year. Spain residents eat 12 grapes at midnight to bring good luck in the coming months. What's your New Year's resolution?
The new year has ushered in the cheapest national gas price average in 3 years. At $2.25, today's national average is even 1 cent cheaper than on January 1st, and trends indicate that pump prices will likely remain cheap for at least the first half of the month. Today, 29 state gas price averages are at or below the national average of $2.25, with Missouri touting the cheapest at $1.83. Hawaii at $3.34 carries the most expensive average. Locally, gas prices averaged around $1.84 per gallon today.
Jeanette Castellana, AAA spokesperson, said, quote, with OPEC production cuts slated to take effect this week, analysts will closely be watching the price of oil. Significant movement toward higher market prices would mean cheaper gas prices could be in the rearview mirror. However, AAA expects to see minimal volatility at the start of the cartel's production cuts, end quote. The end of 2018 drove crude oil prices to as low as $44 a barrel, which is a steep $31 drop from the high of $77 a barrel seen during June of this year.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Have you ever been involved in one of these? And you need one of these? Then look no further than the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center. With a state-of-the-art facility, aluminum capabilities, lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett auto rental, claims assistance from start to finish. We are here to serve you. So stop by and let us show you why we are #1, the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. John Carver took over the job of Director of City Schools in Tullahoma on November the 1st, succeeding Dr. Dan Lawson, who retired after serving in that position for over 20 years. Tom Corrington spoke with Mr. Carver recently. In this segment, he talks about his career path, which ultimately led him to Tullahoma.
Our guest today is Mr. John Carver, who, as of November the 1st, officially became the new Director of Schools for the City of Tullahoma, replacing Dan Lawson, who had been here over 20 years. So we wanted to take this opportunity to get acquainted with Mr. Carver and also find out a little bit about his background, and then we'll go into what the plans are for the future. So with that, thanks for joining us, John, and tell the folks who is John.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation to be here today. I tell you, my wife Pam and I, we're getting our first Christmas here in Tullahoma, so we are very excited about it. The parade the other night was just fantastic. But yeah, my wife and I, we've been together now for 39 years. We have 2 grown children. In fact, today my daughter Emily, this is her 30th birthday. So it's a special day. Yeah. But been in education now for going on about 39 years, and during that time I've kind of served in all the chairs. I was a classroom teacher, a coach, athletic director, a short stint as an elementary principal, middle school principal, high school principal, and I served 2 districts in Iowa as a superintendent. The first district I served as a superintendent about 10, 11 years ago, we were one of the first 12 districts in Iowa to embed technology into instruction. And again, it was almost biblical that there were 12 of us, and that we spread the word. And so right now today, just about every district in the state of Iowa has a one-to-one capacity. While that was occurring, I was also blessed to be appointed by Governor Branstad to serve on his Executive STEM Council. And for the time I was a superintendent, worked at build-out of public-private partnerships, developing a STEM-ready workforce in the state of Iowa. The second district I served, the Howard-Winneshiek School District, we were recognized by the Obama administration as being one of the first 100 future-ready districts in the country. Several trips into Washington, and had some input on the National Education Technology Plan. After that, came here.
Somewhere along the line, whatever the organization this was, you were among 50 nationwide recognized for your digital accomplishments.
We were one of 100. We weren't one of 50, but we were one of 100. And but yeah, it was exciting because we kind of stepped through the looking glass. And the thing that was exciting was that we empowered kids to take ownership in their learning. And you know, good teaching is always good teaching. But when you have the tools, you can really amplify and accelerate learning. So yeah, I was 1 year at Murray County as their Chief Digital Officer. And,
yes, here.
And then my year in Murray County was a great learning experience. I learned about Tennessee and finance and all that, and so here I am.
Politics, yeah.
A lot about the politics, yes, sir.
And we got lots of that.
We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Tonight we bring you part 2 of Tom Corrington's interview with Jennifer Moody, the new city administrator for the city of Tullahoma.
We're talking today, folks, with Jennifer Moody, who is the new city administrator for the city of Tullahoma. We've been getting her background up to date, and she's in the job business of city management at Columbia. And well, let's pick up there. What else do you want to say about Columbia, and then move on to, I guess, Murfreesboro next?
Yeah, I guess I would just say, being that was kind of where I started my career, I started out doing a lot of grant management and public information, and not so much managing departments, but I grew into that over the 5 years. And I felt like it really prepared me well to take the next step. I wanted to be challenged, and I kind of jokingly tell people I got that in spades when I left Columbia, which is a community about 36,000 people and 400 employees, and joined the city of Murfreesboro as their assistant city manager, one of 2 assistant city managers that they have, and joined a team of 1,200 employees in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. Yeah. I think roughly around 130,000 population today, but it literally grows by the week. Yeah, so yeah, very different experience, very different communities. But I've appreciated the challenges, and I think it gives me a better perspective today, now that I'm 10 years in local government. I feel very well prepared to handle just about anything. Yeah. Yeah.
What was your, if there were 2 assistant city managers in Murfreesboro, you must have had specific areas that
we did. So we divided up the departments between the city manager, the assistant, the other assistant, and myself. And in Murfreesboro, there are there were about 20 departments. And so the areas that I was responsible for were development-related departments, so planning, codes, engineering, and then also communications and IT. Those are the ones I worked most closely with. And then I also worked with community development because I had so much experience doing community development work and grant writing and grant administration in Columbia. So that was a natural fit for me.
All right. Well, and so how long were you at Murfreesboro?
I stayed there 3 years.
3, okay.
Yep.
And then, well, 3 years. What prompted you to move on?
A couple of things. One is the city manager that I was working for was actually the same city manager that I had worked for as an intern in that fellowship program. And in the beginning of coming to Tennessee, in Murfreesboro, he was the assistant city manager back then, and while I was in Columbia, had been promoted to city manager. And so I looked at him as another mentor, and we had a really close working relationship. And he resigned in December of last year. And just a lot of changes were taking place. The other assistant manager was retiring. We were restructuring the organization. And it just seemed like a good time to just see if I should spread my wings a little bit. And one of the recruiters, I believe Hannah Rogers, that handled the recruitment here in Tullahoma, I ran into her at a Tennessee City Managers Conference, and she said, would you be interested? Your name was thrown out by someone, and I just wanted to ask if you'd be interested in looking at Tullahoma. They are looking for a city administrator. I had been an assistant for 8 years, and I think if you'd asked me a few years back, I'd say, oh, I might be an assistant forever. I like this job. But I think it hit right at the exact time when I was already thinking in my head, you know, I've done this for a while, and it might be time to just see what I'm made of and step into that seat more fully. And I think it is. It's all about timing. It was perfect timing for me in my career.
More news later is coming up in a moment.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage Program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's got to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor, too, when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell stopped by our studios and spoke with Jim about speeding in the city.
Speed enforcement is something that we do on a regular basis. And some of the things we've done in Tullahoma to make people aware of their speed is put out solar speed signs. We've got 8 of them in the community right now. We just installed our 8th one a couple weeks ago up on North Jackson. So as you're coming in from Moore County, Bedford County, as soon as you enter the city limits, we have a solar speed sign there that flashes the speed and basically says you're going too fast, or slow it down. And these solar speed signs, are very technical. I mean, we go in and we can program them for different settings and different messages and things of this nature. What we tell people though is we don't take pictures. These are not speed enforcement cameras, so we're not taking your picture. Some of them do have the ability to take a picture. Say we set a maximum speed of say 75, and at 75 it'll take a picture. It can take a picture of your vehicle. That way we can use that for enforcement to say, okay, we've gotten this car coming through 3 days in a row at 75 miles an hour. We need to be out there
That's interesting.
at say 4 o'clock in the afternoon,
right,
and watch for this green or red car or whatever it may be coming through. So we can use it in that fashion, but it's not a speed camera similar to what we've heard of in the news.
Now, and the speed limit in Tullahoma in most places is 30 to 40 miles an hour.
If it's not posted, it's 30 miles an hour by statute.
Right, so if you're doing 75, you're way
and I'm just using that for an example. But when we put that speed sign up on North Jackson, we ran a couple diagnostics on it to make sure everything was working right, and Lieutenant came in and told me we did get a couple 69 mile an hour coming into Tullahoma. So, and it's a 40 mile an hour speed zone. So that did raise a little bit of concern that, all right, we need to run some analysis and get some data and see if we have some that are truly coming into town at that speed, and directing our patrols based on that. And then of course we have our speed trailer that we move around to different parts of town, and that one again can do all this fancy stuff. It can do gather statistics for us. It doubles as a message board, and it will take pictures, and it'll send that picture to us to a computer if we've set it a certain parameter. So again, that same principle that, okay, if we've had a car that came through here at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, it'll take a picture of it. We can see it, and then we can do our enforcement based on that.
Is there just one of those?
One speed trailer, yes.
Okay.
And we move it to different locations.
So the other ones you were speaking of are stationary?
Stationary.
Yeah, okay.
But we have, they are designed to where we could take them off the pole and move them to a different location. We've got a couple poles in Tullahoma that don't have the signs on them, so if we needed to move them to that location, we could do that. So if you drive around town, you see a nice decorative black pole that doesn't have anything on it, that's another potential location for us to move that sign to.
And before I forget, now it displays your speed, but if I recall, if it's flashing, you're going too fast. Is that right?
Yeah, it'll have the set speed. So let's say the speed limit's 40. And if you come in at 35, it'll just show you 35. But if you're coming in at 45, it'll be flashing at you. And that's the indicator that you may want to pay attention, you're going too fast.
And you folks may or may not remember this, but when Paul previewed the first one of those, one of the aldermen asked about it at a board meeting, and he said, wanted to know why it's flashing, and Paul, in a very diplomatic way, said that meant you were speeding. That's why it's flashing at it.
Yeah. So, they're all around town, and they're designed to make people just aware and to slow down. Speed is very important. We write a lot of citations for going 16 miles an hour over the speed limit. I'm always, each month when I do the statistics, it just, I don't say amazes me because I don't want to sound as though I'm surprised, but how many people we're writing tickets for going over 16 miles an hour
and
over the speed limit. That's significant.
Yeah. Is that reckless driving?
Depending on the circumstances, it could be.
Yeah,
like if it's, say, a school zone or where there's some other factor that would make it reckless, but it can be.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guest includes Cynthia Redicott from South Jackson Civic Center, who will invite everyone out to the gala this weekend. Sean from the Hands-On Science Center has a whole list of events coming to their place this year, and we'll hear from Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley about what's been going on lately in Tullahoma and what you can look forward to in 2019. All that and more on this week's Living.
Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has proudly served your auto rental for over 30 years. Check out this huge selection to choose from. Small car, mid-size car, full-size car, crossover vehicle, SUV, minivan, pickup trucks, 12 and 15 passenger vans. Whether big or small, Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has them all. Stop by our 2 locations to serve you, Tullahoma and in Winchester. And remember, my question is, why rent anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1946 at 71 degrees. Record low was in 1942 at -5 degrees. Average high on this day is 44 and the average low is 30. Partly cloudy weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of around 31. Sunny weather in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 51 and a low of 43. And look for partly cloudy weather on Thursday with a high of 57 and a low of 44.
And Jim, today the 2019 Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival was released. And looking at the list here, headliners include Fish, Childish Gambino, and Cardi B. Also, the Grand Ole Opry will be coming back to the farm for the second year in a row to broadcast from Bonnaroo. Other acts include Casey Musgraves, John Prine, the Avett Brothers, Brandi Carlile, The National, and Post Malone. Tickets for Bonnaroo go on sale this Thursday, and the festival dates are June 13th through June 16th.
Yeah, you need to get those tickets early. Always
gotta get on them. That's right.
Andrew hadn't missed one yet, I don't think.
Well, it's going to be another fun year on the farm. Yeah.
That's right.
And we'll have all the coverage right here on Channel 6.
Absolutely. All right, that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.